So the starting procedure for the engine, having lugged it on and got it clamped onto the boat, as you can see from the fixing there, it's to the right hand side of the plate that it sits on. Make sure these are really tightly done up. Little wing nuts there. If you keep it to the right, it keeps it clear of the rudder when that's there, as Peter knows to his cost. So before you start the engine, make sure it's in neutral. That's this big lever at the bottom there. It says here neutral at the back, forward at the front. Make sure that's in neutral. And then just above it is the fuel tap. So if you turn that to the back there where it says on, that's the fuel on there. Coming to the top of the engine then, there's at the top of the fuel filler, there's this little knob. You have to open that up. That just lets air in to make the engine run. Now, make sure the throttle's to the right, fully to the right there. This little thing here is the kill switch, so make sure this little plate is in there, otherwise it won't start. This little clip there is a kill switch. If you had a cord on it, it can, and there are some in the cottage with a bright red cord that you can clip in there instead. And if you fall out the boat, it stops the engine. But if that's not in there, that little clip. And this here, choke, it's quite warm today, but if you just pull that out, you see it stays. And if it's a cold day, you might need a bit of choke to start the engine. So we've turned on that, we've got the fuel on, we've got that, and now I'll just show you just started. So literally hold on to it here to give it some resistance, because this engine will just tilt up. I'll show you that in a minute. But just one smart pull, as you can see, or here. Now if first thing you check when it's running is that all the water, this water's pumping through, because that's the coolant. If ever you don't see water coming through, stop the engine quick, because something's blocked the pipe. And if you needed to, this little, where the water's coming out, sometimes gets blocked up, so you can actually just take that off, and it could be a little stone or something's got in there, and then put it back and then try it again and just see if that's in there. This one here, this knob here, makes this turning stiffer, and if you're using the rudder to steer the boat, just set this in forward. You might want to just tighten that one up, and it just locks it a bit harder so that you can just steer using the tiller. Well, I'll show you how to do that, but that's it. And then if you put it in gear using this, if I put that in gear now, that's now in gear, and you'll see from behind pushing the turn, and then to put it back into neutral, you just put it there and she's in neutral. And it's, you know, before you sort of get going, you want to leave it running for a good minute or so that it's quite happy on idle and it's accelerating well. And then to stop the engine, just push that button. That little red thing there is a bit squashy, it's just a little switch, you just push that in. If you've got a kill cord and you pull it, it does the same thing, it just pushes that in. And then when you're packing the engine away, the reverse is the same. So shut down that little knob, make sure that's shut down, turn off the fuel there, turn that to off, and leave it in neutral. And that should be a good one. Right, now what I will show you then is, because probably what you want to do is put the rudder on. So the rudder just sits on the back here on these little pintles. Now this is where you want to just probably keep it upright. You just drop that. Goes into the bottom and the top. A bit awkward because it floats. Push it down and it locks in. Then get the tiller, and that just slots over there like that, just slots into the groove. Then take these two ropes that are on the side of the thing and just wrap them both around there and cleat it off. And then you can, if the engine, that's what I said about the engine, you kind of leave it locked there, steer using this, don't use the engine. And it's a lot better because of course you can sit much further in the boat. You can be sitting like that and just comfortably steering it rather than sitting right at the back on the outboard. So that's much nicer. What you do have to be careful of though is that the rudder doesn't lift up. This rudder blade can actually spin up, I'll show you. So if you undo those ropes, it's a bit stiff at the moment, so it might not actually lift, but it can lift. So just be careful that the rudder's right down and these two ropes are pleated off there, because otherwise it can interfere with the propeller and chew the rudder up, as Peter knows, because I think he did. So he probably knows all that. But and I think that concludes the engine. Turn the red again. The red record button on the top there. Red movie. My able assistant isn't so able.